Hello again, folks. Welcome to what'll probably be a shorter stream tonight, just a few hours as we get the Dark Knight run started. Oh, shouldn't be too bad. Especially, I don't think any of them will really take much of a grind at this point. So let us just go ahead and switch on in to the game. What I forgot to do, now that I'm thinking about it, was look up, so let me do this quick. Uh, Alright, not deep. Hate the ads in the frickin' wikis. Oh, that did not bring up. There we go. Okay. So, we have Leon. I always forget that Leon, technically, from 2, is a Dark Knight. Of course, we have Cecil from 4. Before he becomes, you know, a paladin. Um, it's Dress Sphere. It's the online. It's the sphere. I guess we can add. Technically, because there's a specific character that in 11 that gives it to you. That's Zaid. And screw it, especially because his weapon is here. I wouldn't really call a soldier a Dark Knight, but why not give Cloud some love in this one? Alright, not status. Skills. Blood weapon. If melee weapon is equipped, grants lifesteal. Melee attack heals user for half of all damage dealt to the target for the next 2 turns, ineffective against undead or mechanical targets. Okay. No limit, no world trait, and then Shadow Adept, able to learn and use a specialized set of basic black magic spells. So they do have magic to buy, that's right. Always forget about that. Because it's blind. And Shadowblade gain an increased accuracy bonus when attacking a blinded target. Okay. Nope, not into the castle. Into the city. So... everybody a weapon. We can't actually buy armor for everyone. And no, not white magic, excuse me. Black magic, sleep, and bio. Like status ailment, sleep on all foes, deals base 10 poison elemental damage to one foe, and has a chance to inflict bio status. Alright, well, let's go get a little bit more cash so we can get, armor on everyone as well. Go. There we go. Everyone's got a weapon, everyone's got armor. Can't hit people for crap. Alright, and... shit. There we go, and now we are saved. Yeah. Biggest downside is that minus 30 hit, so... Cool. Skill, blood weapon, blood weapon, blood weapon, blood weapon. Oh my god. Let's go. As long as Zayd... Let's say, as long as Zayd doesn't get hit, this might work for me, swear. I don't need to go... That's enough now. Just have them all blood weapon here. Here we go. Thank you for the items, and outside of having to come back here to buy spells, we're good. We'll be able to very quickly get to the early money grind. Let's go up to Matoya quick. I probably should save. There's 2 spells and they are 100 each, right? So we need 800. Yeah. And yeah, if I remember correctly, Spellblades have 1 of each level. And to unlock the second one, once they get the advancement, they have to use them. Pure and a few heals. Alright. Should have taken the round beforehand, the first round to Blood Weapon, but yeah, I'm not worried about the wolves doing much damage. But there'll be a good chance for me to heal up a little bit. I don't think this is going to do that much, so... Yep. Made it to town without much issue. Let's see. Spells are Dark, which actually comes in handy for us, and Pain. Deals damage to one foe equal to damage sustained by this character during the previous turn. Get Steel. 27 damage, 25 hit, 10 crit. So more damage, better hit, same crit. Definitely worth trying to save up for, unless there's better at Elfland. And yep, the iron armor is here, as is the gloves. Alright. Let's get this done. Because I am not worried about this fight. Outside of, it just might take some turns, because we keep missing. Our ship. Save again. And again, outside of spells that we know are going to be there. It's time to see just how much we need to grind up. in a money grind. So you've got... I am not grinding up all the way for that as well. Caps and iron armor. And then we're going to have level 3 spells. Which was hold and bio 2, which bio 2 is actually useful. And level 4 spells drain. Which is gonna probably be useful. And bleed, steal from ally, restoring user's HP. Alright. No, first off, we have the money. Let's head back to Corneria. Yeah, that way they got those. We'll rest and save. Now to start the grind. Don't need anything in Corneria anymore. Till later. Just hit? We can at least get that. Save. Get back to the money grind. Hopefully a second grind will be enough. Depending on how this goes, we'll hopefully get enough for the weapons. Just figure if we do this outside of like, all we need to buy armor-wise from Elfland is 3 caps, which is 180. And then it's the spells. And the larger part of the spells, like, we wouldn't worry about the level 4 spells. If anything, we just worry about the level 3, which is 3,000 per person, so that's only 12,000. Just still a lot, depending on our luck. Might just say screw it, though. So I do need to also get, more pures than heals, because if our damage intake is low enough, we don't have to worry about healing. One more run will get us our weapons. Which will hopefully help a little bit. Once we get the Mystic Key, I don't know what else we get. I'm trying to think what else we would get for getting the Mystic Key. I think one of this, we do get a silver greatsword. Alright, now we need 32k for armor and 32k for spells. Oh. And I'm expecting most of this to be fairly straightforward for them. So I just realized there's a good probability they can't equip shields, huh? Big two-handed sword, you usually can't do shields with swords like that. Nice. Yeah, and that's why I'm not gonna worry about the money grind outside of to get... Like, once we get everything here, the iron armor and the, Actually, I may not even worry about the, well... I'm mainly worried about the spells. And, what, 1,500 for 20 pure? Because even the armor at this point, I know we'll get one in there, so we only need to buy 3. Iron armor in the long run. Like, once we get our level 2 spells, any other farming can be done down by Elfland. Especially if we pick up Pures, because then we can just kind of... And a few tents. We should get 5 tents as well. More for saving purposes. Oh. Uh, Alright. Good old negative hit chance. Dark Knights. Mind you, I mean, they're not hitting much worse than anything else was at this spot. Even though they're, what, actually down. Only -8. That's not bad. Alright. Um... We only needed to do 9. Oh well. We'll use this now to make our way down to Elfland. get our other 2 fights, and then go into the town and save and make our way to Marsh Cave. Because I'm honestly thinking the top shouldn't be too terribly bad. Especially once we buy, because we should hopefully have enough for 9 more pure. So admittedly... No, they're considered magic beasts. Okay, so we can. Oh, and we can also buy... Oh, that actually put us just out of range. I gotta do 1 fight in order to save. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we can do the top part of Marsh Cave. Please, Cecil, hit this one. Hit it for enough. Ugh. There we go. Oh, finally a level up that didn't actually give a lot of hit points. That's surprising that that also happened there. Alright. Out of... I know it's ineffective against undead or mechanical. Well, I guess I could have used bio. definitely bite heals when we get back, because not having a built-in resistance to stun is going to suck. I forgot this cave is a lot of undead. Yeah, I figured we couldn't equip either of those. Yeah, out of curiosity, I should check what they don't have a monster family. Interesting. Shadow are undead, though. Okay. Come on, Leon, hit the first one. I may actually have to use a heal on Leon. Oh, no, we are above where we started. Alright, let's go ahead and sell. Then these 3 pures. There we go, 20 on each of those. Now, good. Be good to head down. or we're gonna kill a little time here to get up enough money to replace the pures that we're about to have to use. There we go. Literally 2 steps out of the town. And then we got forced to use 4 pures. Let's try again. Come on. Only 1 hit and not even enough to kill. Oh. Right. Come on. God, the range on this weapon. Of course, the internet is also being fucky tonight. Oh well. Hopefully, all in all, it won't be too terribly bad. Okay, for once, we can do this. That's actually sellable now, because everybody's got... Ah. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah. Still does, like, no damage. Okay. And I don't want to waste... Just get away, guys. You have no way to easily hurt them. Again. This is why I wanted the 20 pures. And part of why I wanted the heals. Well, if I remember correctly, the wizards are magic beasts, right? Aquatic magic beasts at that. All right. Please, just hit. Like, that's gonna be the biggest worry about facing the wizards, is hitting. Sleep, sleep, dark, dark. Nope. Had to try. Let's do one more round of dark. Cecil survives. It's empty, and let's get the chain to sell. So we're about to go through a whole bunch of money, and we might actually just lose here. Yep. Would have been fine if we hadn't gotten stunned. That's fine. We can redo this. Well, I know there's only one up, but there's only two of them, so the chances of them hitting and keeping everybody stunned. It's less and less likely. My God. I mean, it's not that it's not impossible, but dear God. Oh, thank you. Once the second person got up, we were in a much better setup, too. Really, the only real issue is the fact that we just have such a huge chance of missing. Just run away from the poison that we can't do, the freaking scum that we can't do anything about. Oh, that's where the... Oh, that's... Either way. Let's do this in hopes that maybe we get some good heals out of it. Screw it. We're not even going to try to blind them. It didn't work. It's like, just hit people. Much better state now. Please don't stun us. Come on. What? Damn it! I should have done that to begin with. Now I'm in a fucking... Just attack! Oh my God! There we go. Now I can't be stunned. Run away, please. Going to be... Oh my god, we're gonna have to soft reset again because they're going to paralyze the two of them and kill them. Like, even if I wanted to attack and not run away, we can't. Yep, we freaking got stun locked again. Nope, we're pausing here, taking a break, because that's frustrating. We'll come back, go down again. We know we can do it. We just gotta not get stun locked on our way out, or have all 4 people survive, so we can actually fight our way out. One of the two. But I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, we are back. So, let us give this stupid marsh cave another run. At least now, that one... Oh, damn it. Good. Fucking crawlers. Ugh. Like, I understand us getting hit. We have, like, no dodge. So I expect things to hit us every time. Yeah, that ends up being empty now. Come on. Of course, the one that I actually wanted to hit something completely misses. Let's try again. Of course, he misses the first round again. This is not going to heal that much because there's not much freaking health left on. Alright. let's give this another try. You know what? I did like no damage. Oh, come on. Damn it. Nope. Run, damn it. This is a fine. I'm fine with this fight too. We might get poisoned, but nothing can stun us. Actually, we didn't even get poisoned. Finally. That was more for the save than the heal. And the save was just so that if we ended up in another stun lock where we had to soft reset, we didn't go all the way back to having to go back down and get the crown. Alright. Back to the Elf Kingdom. Alright, no weapons, right? Yeah, just the iron and copper. Yep. Alright. That should be good. Heal again. Let's go confront Astos. We can fight again. And actually, since he's right here. No weakness, no resistance. It does like no damage. Alright, that's enough trying. There we go. That was relatively easy. Even with our overly telegraphed attacks that obviously the greatsword makes. Now we can work on all the Mystic Key stuff. Which hopefully gets us enough for our level 3 and level 4 spells and whatever weapons we deem worthy to buy. Before going into the Earth Cave. I was gonna say, don't you freaking stun lock us. Alright, only one thing can stun us, and it can't stun us if everything go attack it does, so... Wow! Gotta love that hit percentage. We'll get better weapons soon, though. Hopefully. For the herb. Alright. There you go. Thank you for the key. Now, the hammer is not going to help us. If I remember correctly, it's iron armor and an iron shield. And should be a silver greatsword. The other two swords that are in Chaos won't help us, but they're still fun to get. They'll be worth the money for level 3 and level 4 spells. And it's not like it's gonna hurt us to go get them. Oh, that was a silver regular sword. Not a great sword, so... yeah, we sell all that. And, yep, we already have iron armor on everyone. So... not surprising, nobody can wield shields. It's... alright, that's cleared out. That's cleared out. Get our sleep taken care of, and now... we'll get, what, I think we get a thing of silver armor at the dwarves, and maybe a weapon. Yep. There we go. Now to the dwarves. Nothing we need to worry about in any of those. He's not going to be able to make us a weapon, I'm sure, either. Nope. Of course, can't wield any of those. Actually... No. Again, silver armor is not an upgrade. Silver cap might be... The silver helmet might be, but silver armor is actually... I don't need high evade. I'd rather have the higher absorb. After all, our evade is not exactly safe as it is. Alright. Alright. Bane and Bind. Though they can't do Bane yet. Neither are extremely useful. Bastard Sword. Ooh. Plus 10 to hit. Keep in mind that I may just do that because, yeah, no, we can't do that. That's not worth it. But there's also armor here. Okay. Yeah, it's 40 and minus 50. Why is the Bastard Sword so nice to us? Yeah, screw it. We're gonna, before we go forward, I'll worry about money for the other stuff afterwards. Let's go buy those Bastard Swords. We'll do the Bastard Swords and the armor. We can, worry about the looted stuff afterwards. Look at that. Plus 36 to hit. Holy cow, they might actually hit twice. And Iron Helmet and Iron Gauntlets. Actually, I could just... he's got iron, but he's got copper. So, sell and buy... Wait, did I not buy him? Okay. Cloud now has... So Leon has the 3. Cloud has the 3. Okay. Yeah, we're good on weapons, we're good on armor. Now... I was saying, now we actually have a chance to hit twice. I think the only downside to the Bastard versus the Silver is the amount of damage, but in all honesty, I think for now, that hit chance just trumps anything we can get. Yeah, 40 damage minus 15 to hit, and 10 crit versus half the crit, reverse the hit, so a 20-point difference on the hit, and 15 points of damage. But that's fine. We're also good on our armor, so... I do have to buy softs before we go into that little Earth Temple, Earth Cave. And 32,000 is what we need for that. Alright. First thing should be right. Damn. Nice and simple here. Armor piece that I could have waited on. Oh well. Yeah, I knew that was gonna be a thing, though. Alright, Oh, we didn't rest. Before we go... Well, we can tent outside again. Honestly, with our gear now, I'm less worried of anything other than being poisoned in the Marsh Cave. Alright. But we're going down to get the weapons to sell them for money. And the silver chain. That'll sell for decent money, too. after all, we need quite a bit if we want to get, all our spells. This is the only fight we run from. Actually, they're resistant to poison, aren't they? Yeah. Alright, well, one of them took it down, so... Hey, Roland. Pretty good, save for... The only struggle was because... Part of with this is I'm trying to keep them from getting too far in different levels with each of these runs. And I kept struggling getting out of the cave after getting the crown. I'd get down to just 2 left and then get stun locked by crawlers or something on the way out originally. But now we did manage to do it finally. So we have, you know, a weapon that's not gonna miss. Even if it is less damage. Or at least it's less likely to miss, I should say. Because we went to Melmond and bought everybody, bastard swords. As much as the silver sword is nice, I think that 20-point difference in hit is well worth the reduction in damage versus trying to save up for silvers. Though, I will say, Bard, we kind of went ridiculous on Bard this afternoon. To make it a full stream. Yeah, that's what I had a feeling there was going to be a back and forth play that was possible. But yeah, the afternoon stream with Bard, to make it a full stream, I spent 3 hours grinding levels in Mirage Tower, which because of the spells and everything meant that we went in, and by the time we got to Chaos, everybody was level 50. So, mind you, we still had somebody have a couple people lose about half their health, but we cakewalked him because of that. No, I thought about it, but no, I didn't want to risk... I didn't want to do that run all the way down and have it not work, potentially, and end up losing people. I mean, I still got the save. I can always go back... the save before going in. I can easily go back and do it again. I just... On the stream, I didn't want to risk it. Because it was still a fight to... yeah, it took a bunch to get there. The Geo team or... like I said, I believe White Mage is the other one that can do it. Especially, and again, don't have to grind all that high. Ah, okay. So yeah, I guess since there is a specific one that you can sample for them for easy fear. That's what I wasn't sure where what the easy fear was for them, because I know with White Mage they just have they themselves have a spell you can get that you'll easily have plenty of casts for. I guess survivability between the two isn't too different. Geo might have an easier time surviving to him. I mean, I also at some point have to do a normal put together a regular party that's got both Geo and Evoker in it, so that I can have the Geomancer sample the Astral Plane. Ah. See, I never looked in, like, I knew it was doable with White Mage. I never looked into what was the step with them. So if Geomancer, yeah, if theirs is like a non-elemental or something that makes it so I don't have to do anything beforehand versus the White Mage being a multi-step. Yeah. I mean, it depends on how much I'm really worried about doing an achievement hunt thing. Because there's going to be plenty of different playthroughs we'll have to worry about for different achievements at that point. Alright, yeah, we can sell all those weapons. And he's got iron, and the silver is not going to be worth it considering current things. Alright, there's that. Oh, not use, damn it. 18 pures. Alright. Come back later for the level 4 spells. We can now start making our way down to taking down the Lich. So first, we gotta take down the vampire. Alright, we don't need to save here. Well, so actually, I just realized something. You're talking about that. Isn't where was it? Oh well. Wait, voice. Okay, it's use geomancer spells in every type of terrain. Thought there was one for sampling. Maybe that one didn't require all the terrains. No. Oh, it's only 6 different ones. I just never did more than never did all that many when I sampled. Okay. Hmm. Of course, you couldn't let Leon hit one of them, could ya? Oh, Pat, your days are numbered. At some point, these dark knights will be back as death knights come to eat you up. Oh. Then you shall never again darken somebody's path. Well, darken their path. You'll darken the next people's path, because it'll be a different timeline. But that's besides the point. Yep, another sword that will not be able to be equipped. But we'll get the one down where the mage mash by the mage masher. You know what? Just because I don't know how hard it's gonna hit. If it even got to. Okay. Huh. Wooden shield, that is also something we will not have to worry about, but it's a few extra bucks. Puts us ever closer to leaving here, knowing we can buy all our level 4 spells. Oh, please. Just attack, please. Oh. These are the fights I hate the most. I hate them for the same reason. Yeah. It does feel like it. But, like, I hate undead like that in the same way that I hate playing against blue players in Magic. It's not fun to not be able to do anything. Okay. I failed to heal Leon. I'm an idiot. Uh-oh. That did not do enough damage. Yeah, look, it depends on the blue deck. I will be honest about it. It really does depend on some of the things for the blue decks. Like, Drago decks can be fine to face. it depends just sort of on just that. What the actual, like, win con and effect is. But yeah, a lot of times... Like, I had, when the first Mirrodin came out, I had built a deck that had, big mana with Blinkmoth Urn, and, what the hell is the name? Was the name of the artifact? There's a blue artifact creature, or blue artifact. It was artifact creature with blue mana abilities that allowed you to steal artifacts. And then I also ran Microsynth Lattice, so I turned everything into an artifact. Memnarch. Yeah, it was Blinkmoth Urn, Memnarch, and Microsynth Lattice. And I ended up in like a big multiplayer game. I just solely stole everybody's cards, including their land. Yeah, well, March of the Machines doesn't make it any better, but even still, I just slowly stole everything. And I took Memnarch after the deck out of that because not only was it not... Like, do I not find that kind of stuff fun to play against? I don't enjoy... Like, when I saw that that's how that ended up working, I was just like, this is no fun, and I'm stealing everybody else's ability to have fun. And I don't play to play overly competitive. I play to play with my friends and have fun. Well, when you've got 3 Blinkmoth Urn and Microsynth Lattice, so you're getting 40 mana a turn off of 12 cards. It tends to steal quickly, especially when you just go, I'm going to just start with your lands. So sure, I'm giving you a bunch of mana you can do anything with, but you're gonna get less and less, and I'm gonna get more and more. Yeah. The funny thing is, that was, like, I put it in there just because I was like, oh, hey, there's good synergy with all of this with Memnarch. Let me put him in there and see how he feels. The deck was more about, like, I had, Vidalcan Archmage, and, Mind's Desire and Brain Freeze. So I'd, like, put down cheap and free artifacts that would let me draw cards, because that's how I got so much mana quickly anyway, too. It's like, oh, Vidalcan Archmage, into, you know, Ornithopter, Frogmouth, the mirrors with the affinity and everything, and just all of a sudden it's like, I've played 5 cards this turn without spending any mana, let's tap, play Mind's Desire, get 6 cards, do that again. That just doesn't work that well in multiplayer to try to brain freeze everybody out. Well, so those, while they would be cool, this was when Mirrodin first came out, so those didn't exist. Like, we're talking the first set, Mirrodin. You know, well before even Planeswalkers were a thing. Well, as they are now. Planeswalkers were a thing, but they weren't cards you played. That reminds me, I did just get this. Yeah... If it had an added effect, maybe, but I'm not gonna go and do that. But, like, I'm always a fan of, different win cons. I've got, like, a pile of cards that I'm getting ready to pull more for to start eventually building down into different decks. And the one I am most interested in, um, I'd have to go find it to pull the card. There's a, well, easiest to say is Demir, blue-black, horror creature that I have that's a legendary that, whenever a horror or nightmare comes into play, does the, that Demir style mill of they mill until they reveal a land, but it exiles all the cards. So I'm building a blue-black horror deck, not like nightmare horror deck, all around that commander to just be like, here he's in play, and now I've got all this stuff to keep you milling away, and while I can attack and kill you, I'm gonna have a lot more fun if I end up just putting your entire graveyard into exile. Like, I also... yeah, and it depends on the type of mill you want to do. Like, mill your opponents is hard to do in Commander, especially because you've got, you know, just that many more cards to get through. But there are combos that'll let you, like, infinitely mill. So it's not... It is very doable. It's easier... In Commander, in most cases, it is easier to not get targeted and to get away with self-mill strategies. But yeah, to actually have, like, WinCon mill decks, it's rare. But that's why I just like this Nightmare thing, because I was like, this looks like it could be fun and interesting, and I'll probably get targeted out of a lot of games, but if I'm lucky, I might exile out a good chunk of decent stuff beforehand that'll make it a lot harder for them to get rid of me. Or, because, you know, is the nature of mill, I could mill them right into the thing they need to win the game. It's why mill is not a easy win con to do. I also, when I had also done when can't remember if it would have been I think it would have been Tarkir, when the first like Khans of Tarkir, when those first sets came out. I had done I forget what it's called now. I still just remember the 3-color combo as Bug. Oh, I need to take a break. But I had done a blue, black, green Villainous Wealth deck that was using, like, Prophet of... Sultai, yes. I did a Sultai deck with Prophet of Krufix and stuff like that, so it's like, here I am, I've got, you know, extra mana every turn, big mana pumps in different ways with the devotion from Theros as a big part of it. That's what it was Theros, not Khans, because I think Villainous Wealth was in Theros. But I basically just built a big mana bug deck and then Villainous Wealth people in standard. So it's like, yeah, you still get to see your deck play and do things, because I'm gonna mill you for 20 and then play everything that I milled that's less than 20 mana. Uh, yeah, I can see that. But like I said, let me take a break to run ads, and then when we come back, we'll continue on. Should at least, I don't know if we'll actually get to the job advancement in the hour, but we'll definitely be able to take down the Lich. So, see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I am back. So let us get through our last bit for tonight. By the way, the commander, the Demir commander I was trying to think of was, oh, actually I want to be on this one. Was Umbrus. Fear Manifest. So it's the Umbrus Fear Manifest Nightmare Horror. It gets, yeah. Oh god. Ugh. So that, yeah, you know what it does. Because, yeah, I just love the second part there of when it or another Nightmare or Horror enters. They exile till they exile land. And yeah, Furbies are nightmare fuel. So it doesn't surprise me that there's a Furby reskin for them. I will say, I hope, as they've been willing to slowly test and open up more cards for Commander, I do hope that Prophet of Crufix eventually gets unbanned. Like, that, for me, that is the big, like, I want to see that come back to where I could use that in Commander. I understand that untapping land and creatures every turn is kind of busted, but it's like a lot of stuff. We're at a point now where there's so many answers in Commander that even with something like that as Commander... Yeah, I don't think it was, and that's the that's the thing. I like, but like, if Biorhythm, which sure, Biorhythm is expensive. And it's hard to get like an early I'm gonna win thing off of that. But there's a lot of cards that are seeing unban that it's just like, it's not out of consideration for this to eventually hit that point. It'll never happen. I would love if Commander would consider following Canlander in their point buy system. But I don't think they have the energy. Like, I don't know if they're willing to put that much into organizing that stuff. That, and I think as it is the unfortunate nature that even with a point buy system in Commander, there are certain cards that they'd still just have to say no to. Just because of the nature of trying to keep Commander a bit more accessible. Even if you allow, like, Canadian Highlander does with, so, like, Moxes and Lotuses are allowed, but they include, like, the gold border collector's edition versions and stuff like that. As, like, yeah, no, those are fine. If you can get, you know, that, you know, $300 version of Black Lotus, I think it's only $300, or any of like the dual lands or stuff that are like the cheaper collectors only versions, they'll let, as long as you sleeve it up and you can't tell the difference, they'll let you use them. And that would be the only way that I think Commander would be able to, like, if they were willing to go that far. But the problem is, if Commander did that, those things would skyrocket in price too. I do have high hopes that Magic will start to calm back down again in the next couple of years with all the stupid sets. Because apparently the Hasbro shareholders got real mad at Hasbro for the stupid things they've been doing with Wizards in the like pushing so many sets out, because they're just like, well, they like so from what I understand, I don't, like I said, I don't know where this will actually end up for what it'll do, but I know the shareholders basically did get like a big kind of get, they didn't quite get rid of them yet, but they did a big pushback to the CEO and everything for like, hey, all this big push isn't going to help. See, there was that, but that isn't the big thing I saw. The big thing I saw more was all of this Universe Beyond and all of this. It's like, hey, you're making all of these sets that are selling. Sure. Turtles are gonna sell. Marvel sells. Final Fantasy is selling. Like, those things sell. But they're short-term gains that will have long-term negative impact. And that was the big complaint thing that I saw being talked about. Which is why I'm hoping that since the shareholders are actually complaining about the future negative impact of that, that maybe this means we'll start to see either a slowdown or at least the shift to put Universes Beyond, take that back out of Standard. Universes Beyond does not need to be in Standard. You could still make the sets and maybe make 2 a year instead of like the 4 I think they've got planned this year. Just at least take them out of standard tournament play. They can. They've done things and then like the next year reverted it back. It unfortunately won't affect the stuff that is currently going to be part of it. It just would be like, okay, we did this. It's here. You're gonna have to wait until this stuff rotates out, but Universe Beyond stuff in the future won't be part of Standard. That's usually how they do it. So that way it doesn't impact that's a thing. It's never like, if it, even with it that much, you're not gonna lose sales by taking those sets out of rotation. You'll just get the shift of, because like that market gets dominated by both sides. You get the people who are buying, well, you get the collectors who are buying it for, hey, this is something from my childhood or something I enjoy, a series I enjoy. I want to buy to have cards that represent that because I love that. You're gonna have that collector's section, and then you have the scalpers. Really, you have the people who are buying it because most tournament players don't buy off the primary market anymore. They buy off the secondary. They just buy the singles they need for their decks. They're not, unless they're like going on TikTok and opening packs or something, they don't, the biggest part of their market isn't people buying it for any of the actual play. But they do acknowledge the secondary market. They have openly acknowledged the secondary market. And that is not something They don't. That's why the reserve list exists. The reserve list is an open admission of the secondary market. It's not just a, we don't want to reprint these because they're too powerful. We understand that the secondary market is a big part of what makes Magic something people deal with. And if we print these, it's going to lower the secondary value. There's stuff that they have... Yeah, well... So they're at that level of... They don't personally look at the value of stuff for reprints. When they want to reprint something, they'll do it a lot more for, yeah. I know they're, legally not allowed to, touch that, but it's the reprints and the list. I don't know if they actually still do those set of cards. That doesn't surprise me that would be bad enough. The list and, like, those reprints, they are ever so precariously curated, and while they know it'll affect the secondary market, one, they won't touch stuff that's too huge on, like, they play a balancing act with the secondary market with it. If you ever actually really watch it. Because they'll reprint stuff, but they'll reprint them at enough of a rarity that usually the impact isn't too big unless it is something that is so, such a big impact in actual tournament play that they have to kind of make the secondary market take the hit. And there's other stuff, and there are also cards that are like, yeah, we don't care about this card on the secondary market, because it's not in enough places that we think it needs to be something to worry about. You know, like Sol Ring has been reprinted now in every commander deck, basically, that any value it had is gone. But it's also not a card that people were so upset about that kind of thing on. Like, there's certain cards that their power is high, but it's not enough that any market is caring about it. And their care to the market is just enough to make sure that anything that's rare enough and hit high value, not in standard, can stay at high value, even with a potential reprint. But a lot of the stuff that's hit high value outside of standard isn't going to see a reprint because it would break standard. Like, they do have to keep the tournament stuff in mind with a lot of what they do. And that's the other side of where like a lot of these reprints and everything, and why the list actually became such an important thing. Because the list let them do very limited run prints of cards that are fuck off, game. Of cards that are high staples in, like, not vintage. It's not extended anymore, is it? I forget the tournament names. But it let them get, like, vintage, like, older cards into circulation, but at small enough dosages that it's not affecting the secondary market, but has given newer players at least a little bit more of a chance to get those cards. Like, Wizards is playing has to play a huge balancing act with basically everything they do. Modern, yeah. I'm sitting there going, it's not extended anymore. What was it? Modern. Modern. Yeah, I mean, vintage and, there's two sides of the same coin. There, it was vintage, and I forget what the other name was. Um, no, they're not. The list is not allowed is not allowed in standard, but it's allowed in sealed and draft. Oh, maybe draft. I don't remember if list cards are allowed in draft. I know they're allowed in sealed. Legacy, yes, vintage and legacy. Um, but yeah, the list was there. Just that the list is there to push new blood for modern, more modern than anything else. So you won't go that far back typically on the list, but the list does have some legacy and vintage staples in it. But like high value cards that are in the list probably have like, I'd be surprised if it's over 10 reprints per set. It's probably closer to 5. Like, it's so few coming off the list with each new set that comes out, or so few versions of a card coming off the list of like high value stuff, that it doesn't affect the secondary market, but does still add some new blood for like somebody who hasn't got, doesn't have the money to spend $300 to maybe luck into getting one. But at the same time, yeah, what Wizards can't acknowledge, and I wish they could do something more about, is it's not... Scalpers are annoying on a general level. It's not the regular scalpers that bother me. It's the store level scalpers. And by that I mean the stores that buy the commander decks from distributors with an MSRP, and because the decks go up in value because of cards that have them, because the cards that are in the commander decks, they charge like double the MSRP for them. And I understand they have to play around with certain things, but that's when you go, hey, there's a specific set symbol that shows that this is from this commander deck. So our traded value for that card off of the commander deck is going to be shit, and we're going to sell that version for shit. Like, they have to stop letting the market adjust those cards up and then sell the decks for like double, triple price because of it. Or even the boxes, like, even like, not so much booster boxes, but they've had it too. But even like boxes that are getting like their prices doubled and tripled at stores. Yeah, it's so stupid. And there's so many stores that know they can get away with it, even though they're buying from distributors. And I wish Magic would give us a, like, somewhere we could get away to, like, actually, because I don't know if I haven't seen it, at least, but like, if we could go on Wizards and like actually put in complaints for like, hey, I went to this location and they're marking up your product above MSRP, and give like actual like proof of it to them, to where they would remove them from, send them a warning And if they continue to do it, remove them from Wizards Play Network and remove them from being able to get distribution of get the stuff as distribution. As much as it would suck to have a bunch of stores lose Magic, I'd rather see that happen than see these stores take advantage of players. I understand it's capitalism, but it's an annoying markup, and there's plenty of stores that don't do it and still do amazing. No, yeah, they won't. Yeah, and that's, I think, that's that level of not so much them not acknowledging the secondary market. That is honestly them not posting MSRPs is them more than anything them acknowledging the secondary market, because that's what's allowing stores to get away with doing those markups. Like that when that happened a few years ago, as much as, like I said, I would have wished WotC would have gone the other way with it. That was the moment that WotC said secondary market is more important than primary market, and we're gonna allow the stores to get to run that level of things. That's honestly why I ended up, whenever I bought sealed product while I worked at GameStop, I bought most of my sealed product from GameStop. Not just because I worked there and I got a discount, but because it was like, even without the discount, GameStop was typically cheaper than anyone else because they didn't care about markups on things. It's like Commander decks have been $60, so they're $60. I don't care that this store is selling it for 90. We're gonna still sell it for this. Like retail, like it's bad when Walmart, Target, GameStop, and stuff like that is a better place to buy your product than the stores where you would actually go to play them. Not only are they selling them at better prices, I know from I have it under fairly good intel, at least, that if they're selling ridiculous enough, places like Target, that's surprising. Well, I guess I haven't looked at whether Target has Magic. I have a friend who works at a nearby Target here, and they've been for like Pokemon and One Piece. So check the websites. I will say that. Check websites. Because that was the one thing. Like Best Buy, yeah, and even GameStop. Typically in any of those places, you'd only ever get boosters in store. But if you check the websites, you can usually order the boxes online. It's just you kind of you're racing scalpers a little bit on that. But they have been known to have the booster boxes on their websites. But yeah, that's why, as much as I love Magic, I haven't bought Magic cards in a while, partially because I don't have anything coming in, and why I made that shift. What I was talking about last night to the Warlord card game that got reprinted. I enjoyed the game when I first learned about it years ago, and then it kind of died out because they sort of stopped on a major scale with it. It's like stopped making any boosters. But I'm hoping this return will go strong enough to actually get the game going again, because they do. Warlord is a game about its story. So they'll have major tournaments with story plot points on the line. So it's like, here's a big, like, they'll do a big tournament, and depending on the faction of the deck list that, like, whoever who wins and what faction they were playing will actually change the story going forward, and make adjustments for some of the cards and stuff that they'll do in future sets. Along with I actually have to grab a specific set of cards to show, because I was surprised that they didn't get in. Yes, Legend of the Five Rings was another one that did that. I just didn't get into that one in time to be as interested in it. I liked the way, like, damn it. Oh, well, I could do the backside on that one. This my friends had gotten into, and had gotten me into, and had a D&D side to it. So you do a lot of D20 rolls in it. Here. Oh, hopefully we don't get turned to stone here. All right. So this is kind of your base cards. That's good. Yeah, if you're interested. So this is sort of what the card, actually, here, just quick. This is what the cards look like. So they have that attack and armor, very like D&D aspects. And a lot of what you do, like your base strike. The shine is not great on it, is it? The base strike would have you do like a die roll plus a stat and everything. But besides the Warlord, which is your main thing, there are Overlords, Dragon Lords, and Medusan Lords. Like, there's extra steps above that. And on top of normal tournament play, they'll introduce a new, like, the first tier is the Dragon Lord. So they'll introduce a Dragon Lord, and that Dragon Lord will have a very specific deck that they will send out to specific people to run that deck. And at different tournaments and different events, usually they'll do it as like a reward for the tournament. So it's like, okay, we do a tournament, and either at the cutoff line or the top 4, if there's not a cutoff line, those people, starting with whoever came in first, get to challenge the Dragon Lord. If they beat it, they get the deck. If they don't, then the next person gets the challenge, and so on and so forth. So it's a way to win this special deck that down the line, when they then do a I think the next step is Medusan Lord, when they do an event and they have the Medusan Lord, you'll actually have to give them your Dragon Lord, and they'll be the new ones actually have a special spot for them to take a little punch a little hole out of. They'll punch the hole out to show you've used your shot at the Medusan Lord with this Dragon Lord. You get your Dragon Lord back, and then you get to face that deck. And again, if you win, you get that deck. If you lose, there was your shot wasted. And they do this whole thing, and that's the other side to the story stuff, is whatever the first deck that beats each of those decks is, whatever faction it is and everything, they use that to then, again, expand the story further. But, like, these special decks I think is really cool, and I'm interested because Kingswood has said they want to add in and do they want to follow Lorcana. They didn't use the words follow Lorcana. I'm using the words follow Lorcana. But they want to do something that Lorcana does that I think is incredible. They're gonna give solo play products. So Lorcana has, they have one for Ursula and one for Captain Hook, where they are special decks that, you have set rules for them to play themselves. So you can play on your own or with a couple of people against that deck using special rules and everything. And that's another thing I wish more card games would do. Give us ways to use our product solo to test stuff. That isn't just like gold fishing. That actually lets us see. Like, I know some people have come across, like, a way to make your own Hydra. Yeah. I know people have come up with a way to make your own, like, Hydra deck from the old, like, Theros, when Theros did that Face the Monster thing for a while. People have come up with their own idea of, you take, like, something like 40 or 60, monster tokens, and like it added up to 100 card deck between monster tokens and spell cards, and you would basically just reveal cards from the top until you revealed a monster card, or until you revealed a spell card, and then you would put all the tokens out in play and resolve the effect of whatever the spell card was. So you can make these, like, custom decks in that same fashion. And it wasn't and whenever you damaged the monster, it wasn't you hurting them, it was you milling them. So the idea was just to get them down to 0 cards in their deck. That's something that is out there as, like, here's a way to make your own, like, solo play stuff for Magic. Which I have a ton of tokens. I might look into it a little bit further and build one for myself. But I like when companies do official versions of that stuff. Because there's specific balance. Like, I can do my best to try to balance it in one way or another, but I don't know how well it's going to be. They can do specific balance stuff for that to make sure that it's fair on a regular level in most general cases. Unfortunately, most of the stuff that Magic's ever done is more like it's Plane Shift and Arch Enemy and stuff like that still requires somebody, more than one person be there. Alright, we never bought our 4th level spells, so let's go do that, and then we'll go get our canoe. And probably end for the night. I think we're a little too close to 11 to get... Especially after we go through all our sailing to get everything. But I think we should have no problem tomorrow afternoon in a 5-hour stream, getting everything done. Outside of... I said, if I remember correctly, Dark Knight's, or Death Knight's challenge is... I forget how much health we have to survive taking, but we have to take a whole bunch of damage in one combat. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. Even with, yeah, as I was going to say, I think it's 1,000, and even with Blood Weapon, the problem is, it's like, I have to not kill the creatures while taking that much damage. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't know if it's one of those, it's like, if one of them manages to do it, if it unlocks for everyone or not. So, that's going to be fun playing around to try to get, and figuring out how we're going to distribute the bats is going to be fun figuring out. Yeah. And that works, especially if you've got enough health. That is gonna be one I'm gonna have to probably grind up some levels to get my health high enough to where I've got that range of taking damage plus limited heals. Yeah. Probably. See, that's good, that's good. Let's just buy that, and then now... And, like, I know things like this could also help the drain and bleed if I'm trying to focus one person at a time. Yeah, that's also a good side to it. Like, if bleed counts for it, then we might also have that luck of having them bleed each other to get it. And the only reason I could think of that he added the ineffective against undead and mechanical is for Tamer and now Machinist for the, hey, we stole this thing, it's technically an ally that we can bleed. Yeah. But that might be the difference of... Because isn't Soul Eater a self-harm? Where bleed is a, I'm harming an ally? Yeah. So yeah, it may not be that, it may be that Soul Eater doesn't count because it's self-harm versus since bleed is one ally hurting a different one, it might. Like I said, it'll be something to test. Yeah, I knew, like, the Magitech thing, but yeah. My whole point with the bleed thing was that the only reason for it to include undead and mech not being there, since it only targets allies, is that it's like, oh well, technically tamers make this creature an ally, and if they... Yeah, that was my thought. It's like just getting into a combat that doesn't necessarily have too much of a threat, and well, getting into a combat with not a lot of threat and not taking all our armor are because of that. Then why, if you can't target pets, then why... Like, I understand now with Machinist, and I guess maybe if he was thinking ahead to Necromancer as well, like if he was going to make a Necromancer class that was going to be undead, because otherwise the ineffective against undead or mechanical targets when this only hits allies makes no sense. Yeah. Like, I can understand this one saying that. I'm hitting enemies. Enemies can be undead or mechanical. And obviously now, because of the Machinist, or because of Machinist and their War Mech thing, makes sense why that doesn't count, because that gives that, so... Yeah, it might have been future plan stuff. I'm not gonna worry about the helmet, but definitely need to get that on everybody. And you're just gonna be the oh no, you're the Cobalt Sword. Yeah, we're getting high enough where that play around for a little bit might be worth it. So rub and stun. Alright. It's also possible that he didn't have anything in mind with that. It's just that this is a lifesteal effect, and it was like an auto... Not like an auto thing, but in his brain it's just lifesteal. Ineffective against undead and machine. Just like an auto, I'm gonna put that into any lifesteal effect. Because sometimes that's how that goes. But, alright. We got our canoe. We're here. Let's see. It would be... We almost have enough to... Well, no, we need to level up before we can buy both of the level 5s. That's sort of what I meant. It's like, well, Drain does this, and it's a lifesteal, and Bleed is going to be a lifesteal. Just copy-paste and make the adjustments, and, well, this is lifesteal, leave it there. But yeah, we're close enough to 11, and I've been... As much as it's that thing, I do need to stop at that hour before midnight and not go to midnight. I don't have the energy to do that, especially when I don't normally stream 7 days a week like this. The month is taking its toll. But yeah. As always, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I always enjoy talking, not just, like, I enjoy talking about the game I'm playing, but I enjoy when we get to other topics too. I ended up, this is the Box of Greed stuff, so this one isn't there, but all those packs I had, because I had 2 booster boxes, as much as I was like, I want to do a whole stream opening thing, I was like, I got up this morning, I'm like, no, they're getting opened up now. I can't wait. I want to see the cards. I want to start looking and figuring out deck ideas and stuff like that, so I opened them all up, and now I have a bunch of fun stuff to play with and figure out. I did also look. I was confused because I looked at some of the cards on like this box of greed thing, and I'm like, there's some more. And I looked back through comments, and apparently I had missed a post where they had said because of how the backer kit had done and how much more interest they had when they had that back in like June of 2024, um, they decided to unlock all of the tiers that they had spoiled at that point. So definitely got cards I wasn't originally thinking I was going to get because I didn't see that post saying we were going to get all of it, which is really cool. It makes me happy because I mean technically I don't know since this is a specific thing that counts, but it means I've got a Dragon Lord and an Overlord. I think I don't think I there was a Medusan Lord that I saw, but I did see um a couple of those special. Yeah, here's over the Overlord. They also I will also give they have done like funny Christmas stuff. Um it's not in here other than I think there might be in the free in one of them the sort of Christmas archer. They printed in the base set. They reprinted sort of some of the Christmas-esque things in that in this one, and it's in one of there's one in one of the decks as well. um we have a monster reindeer, Blitzen, or Blitzer, excuse me. Yeah, the focus doesn't work well. I'd have to go here and adjust the focus to get that to pop up better. Whoa, why I do not have autofocus on you. And why were you all the way down to 10? That still didn't work great because of the glare. Yeah, well. I don't have a camera set up specifically for looking at the cards, so I knew that was going to be a problem. But yeah, I am hoping that this will do enough now that it's out to make this something that goes forward. But we'll be back tomorrow. We will continue this playthrough. I honestly I doubt it'll take us more than the afternoon tomorrow to get everything done. Like I said, outside of if the side quest for taking damage takes too long. Uh and then yeah, Archer, Ronin, Machinist should be very straightforward. It's honestly I think the Spellblade, that's the only other one, and even that should be fairly straightforward. So we'll see how we do about getting through. If we get through fast enough and have a few days left, we might try that solo Dragoon New Game Plus run, but it will very much depend on time. Because I do need time dependent to take care of some stuff at the end of the month or early next month. But as always, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you all next time. So, later.